What's up, guys? So, February I was doing a little training, and there's certain things I'm not going to say, I'm not going to mention because if somebody's watching, a person uh, of interest to the situation might say there's a problem. Anyway, so there's a workers' compensation case because it happened at work, and I got injured pretty bad while I was training. I was doing field training, and I got screwed up. So um, I did my MRI. I'm gonna try to move backwards. I did my MRI, and it came out bad. It's my left bicep, and I'm always into working out. I mean, I'm not a big dude. I'm an older guy, but I stay fit. Or I try to stay fit. I work out and I do all kinds of good stuff. And then this happened. It was February 5th of 2018. You know, New Year, right after January, right after Christmas. It's just, and I'm always like eager, always staying fit, always working out, always running, bike riding. I don't smoke, I don't drink. It's like I'm like almost an angel. And I try to watch what I eat. I've done keto diet. If you're interested in such a dieting, look over to my videos and have a keto diet meal and things like that. Nothing major. Only lasted 7 days because my stomach started killing me so bad because I had no carbs, and obviously since most people work 8 to 4, for me it was hard to do keto, continue with keto diet. I did lose 10 pounds of, I guess, water, and I felt great, but my stomach ache was horrible because of my missing carbs and amino acids. So anyway, long story short, so I could say I have done everything right in my life until, guess now. I guess when you get older, you do dumber things. But I was trying my best. I was training. I was training, and I was trying my best. And I always give my 100%. Just like when I go to the gym, I give my 100%. And the thing is, I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking also at the TV. Is just going. Anyway, so the thing is, I I had to change my entire life, and it was really bad. My arm, my left forearm, was black and blue, and it was really swollen. It was really bad. I didn't see a doctor and a lawyer doctor until a month later, and okay, I did see a doctor, but I didn't start therapy till a month later because it was such a big injury, and the muscle tissue was so damaged that it was too sensitive to put it into MRI machine where the coils could go around it, and they wanted me to twist it left and right, and all kinds of things. So I couldn't really do it. So long story short, I did my MRI a month later. I saw this happened on a Monday. I saw the lawyer on Friday. Then I saw my doctor on Wednesday the following week. So it was about a week and a half. A bicep injury, not therapy, but surgery should be done within first 2 weeks, because after 2 weeks, everything, the tendons, they start to heal on its own the way they are. And long story short, so this is my right bicep, and I haven't worked out my arms since February 5th, and today is April. Come on, these electric watch or smart watches. April 27th. Okay, so this is, if you look, this is my bicep moving. Okay, so this is my bicep moving. There's that head that everybody looks for, right? Now my left arm, which is done. Okay, nothing really there. Seriously disformed, and what I'm doing is actually it hurts. So, but again, see, there's nothing there where this guy, boom, beautiful, and I'm left-handed dominant. So I have to change. I had to change my entire lifestyle, and it was hard because it might be funny now, but I couldn't even go to the bathroom and use my left hand to wipe my butt. That's how bad it was. So I had to literally switch over to my right hand and do everything with my right hand, which really wasn't easy. It still isn't. I went back to work April 16th, and there's a reason for that why I went back so fast, not that I wanted to, but I really didn't have a choice. Long story short, you get no benefits, you get no medical, you get no dental, your family doesn't get anything. So it's kind of like, it's like a crackhead. You give them crack, whatever it is, and then just boom, cut them off and go sober. With injuries, it's a little bit tougher, a little bit, different in a way, because I don't think it's necessary to just tell somebody, just look, just go back to work, and especially when you sometimes have to be physical at work for, whatever field of work you are. And then, like you say, I train all the time at work, so I have to be physically prepared for pull, push, turn, twist, and I have dumbbells that are 10 pounds, and pretty much what I do, I rotate back and forth. Now, before, I wasn't able to do this. Before, I wasn't able to crawl. Before, I wasn't able to keep my hand all the way down. I would keep it this way. So every time I would walk, I would walk like this. Now I can actually literally just walk like that, and I can keep my hand out. It feels good. I still have the twitchy pain. I still have that needle pain. I still have that burning sensation when I work out. But to some degree, some point, it feels good. It feels like as if you're working out. So because now I started working on my arms, because I noticed the less I move my arm, the more it hurts. The more I use it, the less it hurts, and all the muscle tissue are rebuilding. So, at this point, excuse me, when I do shoulders, before I couldn't do that, this way, that way, and of course, in the back, your forehead. Okay, so before I couldn't do that. Okay, so now there's reasons why I couldn't do that. Obviously, because I injured my left bicep. It was intentional. It was an accident, obviously, and when I went for an MRI a month later, the MRI revealed that I have a tear tendon over here, I have a tear tendon over here, and over here, and one over here. All this connects, and of course, the shoulder tendon travels all the way down. Okay, so as you can see, in order for me to get the bicep head, they would have to literally go inside and pull the tendon back, which right now just hangs. However, this is a very good condition of my arm, because at the beginning the arm would just hang to the side. There literally was no tissue, muscle tissue whatsoever. Now I'm worried that when I stop working out, when I stop using weights, my bicep might kind of like slide to the side, because again, I couldn't do this. I couldn't really do this, because when I did that, it was hurting me so bad inside the tendon. There's a head. If you Google or you go to YouTube, you see how to recover from tear tendon, bicep tendon, or how the procedure or the operation is being performed. You will see that the tendon is really thick, and they have to trim the head, and they really have to a pure rip, not partial tear like I have, but they literally put a screw inside your bone, and they kind of anchor the tendon around it, and it's scary as hell. That's why I didn't really want to go for the operation. So I really wasn't upset that the first 2 weeks I wasn't being operated on. But again, when I work out, right now I have good pain to the end where it's uncomfortable, and that's when I get a stop. So I started with 2 pounds, then I moved forward with 5 pounds, then I moved forward to 10 pounds. So now I'm 10 pounds, and on this summer 15. I'm just trying to keep it simple, And like I said, this head, it's very nice. Okay, so when you look, I got no arms. Haven't worked out for 2 months on my arms, but that's the entire thing. So, and here is the thing. So I injured myself at work, okay? And this is more going into politics, where my employer literally took everything away from me and my family. And I read the manual, and the leave of absence manual, and it clearly states, we, in case you guys never went for workers' comp, the way it works is you have 48. Your employer has 48 hours to inform the agency that you get hurt. Now I work for the city, okay, so that's their policy citywide, and it's a civil service law, and well, also workers' comp. But then what happens is after that you have 7 days to pick an option, and there is two options. Option number one, they take your sick leave that you have accumulated for how long you've been there. So let's say you don't take your sick leave, you're not sick for the whole year, and you haven't taken a vacation yet. So you probably got 120 and 120 hours, 120 of vacation time and 120 hours of your sick leave time when you go sick. That calculates to you work 40 hours a week, so that's a little bit over about 3 weeks or so. Okay, that's what we accumulate a year, about 3 weeks of sick leave, 3 weeks of vacation time. Okay, so what they do is they take first your sick leave until they exhaust it, and then they move forward to take your vacation time until they exhaust that. And then, of course, when you do overtime, you can either take cash. Some agencies will make you take compensation time for your overtime, which means that you don't get the money, but you get the time off whenever you need to. Okay, which might be down the road a month or two or so. Okay, that would be option number one. Okay, so you can pick one right there, or you can pick option number two. The way it works is you pick option number two. That means that they do not pay you, they do not take your time, none of it, not even 1 minute, okay? And you stay off the paycheck, and you wait until workers' compensation makes a payment to you. Not bi-weekly, they do it weekly, okay? So some calculation, I don't think they give you more than $500. Depends what your annual salary is. My payment would have been, or when I spoke to my lawyer and workers' comp investigator, it would be $500 a week. So I would pretty much, be okay with the finances. But you have to wait approximately a month. The way it works is you get evaluated by your physician, by your specialist doctor, orthopedic. Okay, once you're done with that, he puts out a report to Workers' Compensation Board, and investigator submits it, stating what is the loss, what are the damages, the loss of motion, the percentage lost, and of course the loss of usage in a long time, and also they right away approve your workers' compensation therapy, so you go and get your therapy going. Okay, so these are the choices. Okay, what happens is if you choose option number one, take all your time, they will take your time, and hopefully it will take a month and a half, 2 months. In my situation, I had about a month and a half of time, sick leave, annual mini vacation, so on and so forth. So it took a month and a half. And after that, no salary, no paycheck, nothing. No benefits, no dental, no medical, no vision, no prescription, no membership, nothing. Well, I paid my union dues, so I was totally fine. But that only for politics use only, because with union dues, you can only vote in case there are elections, or you can go to a union meeting and you can speak as a member. If you are terminated as a member because you haven't paid your dues, because your dues are coming out of a paycheck, then you have to make that payment on your own. Go get check, money order, and send them out, which that's what I did. Long story short, we had a few issues where we had to go to the dentist and benefits weren't there. We had to pay out of our own pocket. So it really cost me a lot. Then on the other hand, even though I was able to vote and to do elections and anything like that, I didn't have any benefits. That also includes my life insurance benefits, which I have, I think, $500,000 benefit for life coverage. So this is what happened. So I pretty much stopped. My payments were stopped. I wasn't working, so I stopped. And thankfully, I was recovered close enough to, you know, go to work and do the bare minimum. At my work, they don't have light duty because again, I don't have too many friends. I don't so-called kiss ass to my boss. I don't get the special need privileges. I get nothing because I come to work. I work 8 to 4. I do my 8 hours and I leave and I go home and I take care of my son, and I am being a father to him. I'm also being a husband to my wife. You know what I mean? So that's what I do. I don't stay after work. I don't socialize with people, with friends, because I'm in a situation where um, it's just way too much politics involved, and I don't want to be in that situation. And after me getting injured, I'm not even being considered for the position that I was originally, which is a big EEO, which is your Equal Opportunity Employment Rights. And of course, that's you know, a waiting of what's going to happen. Are they going to clear me and say, look, go back what you were doing? Am I going to get an email saying, oh, great, your schedule is, you know, well, Monday to Friday, do this, and that. Or your schedule is, you know, Monday to Friday, 8 to 4, do the opposite, do something that you didn't do, or something that your title is not in it. So that's the biggest dilemma. So again, I didn't do this at a gym, and it's funny because people were saying, "Oh man, he got injured at the gym. He came to work and he played that stupid game." You know, bullshit. You know, don't speak about somebody if you're not a doctor, or you don't have the knowledge, or you assume that this is what happened, but actually in reality, that's not what happened. So long story short, I was screwed. I was screwed for a very long time, and I am still screwed until probably 2 weeks more till everything settles. So my retirement plan came. It said, because in the city you get a retirement after a certain amount of years. So I gotta do 25 years. So I'm gonna be 25, 55. So I'll be 55 years old when I finish, when I can retire from a city job and have my retirement. So long story short, my life insurance cancellation letter came today. My dental cancellation, my health benefits cancellation came a couple weeks ago. My retirement plan cancellation letter came today. So it's like, you know, everything's hitting at once. So everything's being canceled, even though I came back to work April 16th, which is about 2 weeks ago. Okay, so by the time all this goes back in, I gotta make all these phone calls, tell them, look, I'm back to work. I'm working since April 16, 2018, and put everything back together. So now they gotta submit all the papers to have everybody get together to the table and sign it all up. Okay, then that means you know, my direct deposit from work actually might be canceled. I might be getting commission check to my hand where I gotta go to bank and I gotta literally deposit to the thank God machine. I don't have to wait in the line, thank God. But you know, that's what it is, and it's not because I was stupid and I was training at the gym and I was going heavy and I was just being ignorant, and my, you know, and my ego was with me. Like right now, I go to the gym, even though I lift really light weights, I leave my ego outside, and I know that my arm cannot do more than 10 pounds. You know, and whichever way people look at me, it is what it is. You know, you can look and tell whatever you want. But if, hypothetically, that had happened at the gym, I would actually get more benefits. I would literally get money from my union. Okay? My union will help me. If, for example, with a city, I was to become a drug addict or an alcoholic, city would pay me to go through some sort of detox. Okay, so it doesn't make any sense. Example, I go to Retro Fitness in my neighborhood, and my gym has 5 floors. In the building it has 5 floors. On the third floor is my gym. I'm sorry, fourth floor is my gym. Second floor is a clinic. There's a health clinic that has people that came out from drug abuse, either alcoholism, crack, coke, heroin, PCP, angel dust, opiates or whatever they were on. Now they came off of it, and then they go to clinic. Now here's a funny thing: they go to clinic to get methadone. Now you can Google methadone. I'm not too familiar with methadone, but I know it's supposed to keep you steady, where you don't have to do anything on the side. It calms you down. It helps you regardless. That's the main goal for that. Okay. Now, the health department is actually a city agency, and there is about 16 million people that live in New York City in 5 boroughs. Okay, which is a very small geographic area with lots of people pile up on each other. That's why we have the biggest police department in the world, because we have 36,000 police officers out on the beat every single day. So, long story short, that got hurt at work, got kicked off and says, F you, if you want to become a homeless, that's what you're going to be, homeless. So nobody cared, nobody helped, nobody said anything. My union, blame it on me. Then my union, said you could have done this, and that. Why didn't you call? Why didn't you say this? Why didn't you say that? I'm like, look, everything is written black and white. Within 7 days, there was reports, accumulated. Everything was done properly, legally, with lawyers, with doctors, and with everybody's else help that had to originally do the paperwork for me. So, sucks. Now, so they let me go. They cut the ropes. So screw you. And I know that, if my wife didn't work, we would have a huge problem. You know what I mean? But then, on the other hand, if you were a crackhead, now, excuse me for insulting, not necessarily gender, but a type of population, because there are, drug users and things like that. I still don't understand till today how you have medical marijuana, because you inhale it, it goes to your lungs, and most likely will get a cancer. But let's say it's a plant, it's a herb, whatever it is, it doesn't give you a cancer, but it still fucks up your lungs in a way, right? So you are able to take medical marijuana. You're able to buy medical marijuana. You are able to, for example, go to the clinic that is in my gym and get the drugs totally free of no charge. If you were, I'm going to say the nice way, a fuck up in life, okay, the government, okay, the system will give you whatever. Say, oh my goodness, he's a drug user, he's a former thief, he's a child molester. We're gonna help him out. Now you go to jail. It's not like years ago, or like I was born in Europe. Shit, you went to a jail in Europe. You got fucking potato and a goddamn bread dipped in water so you don't stay dehydrated. That's the correctional facility that this country needs. Okay, so you go to jail over here, you get education. I know inmates that became lawyers, not necessarily doctors, but lawyers, and they've gotten their high school diploma, they've gotten their college, degree, and I had to pay for it. And I'm not a hater or anything like that, but why is this person being treated differently than I am? Because he fucked up, because you want to put him back into community so he fits in, but yet a child molester has to register within the county that he's residing. So it really doesn't make sense. And in a way, me as a good person, because I haven't done anything wrong throughout my entire life, I've worked on my money every single day very hard. So me, since I accidentally got injured while I was working, injured while I was doing something that was asked of me through my employer, and I was injured, not intentionally, accidentally, went to hospital twice, okay, I get cut off, I get nothing. I call human resources, this is the procedure. It says, well, that's not what you have in the manual. Your manual is in black and white, just like penal law, just like any vehicle traffic law, that if you go through a red light, it's a violation. You get a ticket. You know what I mean? So here in black and white, it says that you will be granted, after we take all your time, you will be granted 3 months of workers' comp. Okay? They didn't follow that. They said, screw you. What you got to do is, you got to submit a paper, and that paper has to be submitted to your department. Now, your department has to forward to human resources. Now, human resources director has to approve it, has to say okay, and then some other douchebag has to approve that, what he just approved or she approved as a director of human resources. After they're done with that bullshit politics and bureaucracy, then it comes to my department. Now, my department gets on the internet and it opens up the fucking browser and emails me, then I get the information, because of course they wouldn't, you're lucky they email you. They'll probably send you a letter. Like, they sent me a letter the 20th to come back to work the 23rd. So they gave me literally 2 days, or 2 days to get cleared medically, which I couldn't get cleared, so I didn't. That's why I was off the books for so long, because my doctor says, you can't go like this. You got to give it about 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks. So I stayed out for 3 more weeks. And guess what? Every week I was getting a letter saying, you got to come back to work with the note from your doctor to that you were cleared medically and physically. So I was treated pretty much like a bum. I was treated like I didn't do shit for the city. I've worked in the city system for 16 years. I give my blood, my sweat to the city, and they don't do fucking nothing. Okay? It seems like the city loves to pick on you. It's like, it seems that the way workers' compensation works, at 3 months now we're talking about, let's say I would have been granted. The way it works is, you take the 3 months, and then once your compensation comes from the judge, from workers' comp board, okay, once it's approved, it comes. Whatever the payment is, let's say it's $50,000. Your lawyer gets $6,000. That's what he's going to ask for. And let's say your agency paid you for 3 months. Let's say $10,000. Your agency, okay, is going to receive that $10,000 payment that they gave you in those 90 days, those three months. Okay, so it's not like I'm staying home because I want to, and I'm staying home and living on their salary, because I'm gonna pay for that time I'm not there. I'm actually literally losing money because I gotta give it back. Now, I didn't do that. They didn't put me on workers' comp because I didn't want to fill out the paper, because it was easier to go back to work and lose 3 weeks, which my next salary is like 3 weeks from now, so I'm going to be without salary for 6 weeks. Okay, so it was easier to do that than hoping that somebody's going to approve it without even seeing me or going through the documentation, because they have no clue what the hell is going on, because they don't care. However, they do act like if it's their money. It's like, it's not your money. You work for the city. Okay, I understand it's taxpayers' money. Well, not necessarily, because workers' compensation is not really taxpayers' money. It's the state, which in reality we pay state taxes. So in a way it is, and it isn't. So, because I know the city has a budget for that workers' comp. So again, it's like paying real estate taxes. One house is here for $15,000 real estate a year, and the other one's $5,000. But anyway, that goes by school zone, by the way. But what I'm saying is, it's not your money. So why the hell are you flipping? Why are you going crazy about the whole thing? Why aren't you granting the 3 months that you originally had written documentation? You have manual that states in black and white you will be granted. It doesn't say you have to submit paper documentation to this department, that department, this person, that person. You don't tell me what the procedures are. You just tell me now through email and verbally, well, this is what you need to do. I says, okay, well, where does it say in your manual that this is? It's like, somebody arrests you for possession of stolen firearm or whatever it is, and it says, well, you know what, you're guilty because it's a gun, it's not registered, it doesn't have a serial number, nothing like that. You're done. Well, yeah, but speedy trial. You have the right. That's your constitutional right to do that. Same thing with stop and frisk. You got a constitutional right. And that's just too legal. But I'm just saying, you have rights. You can't say, that you went through a red light, therefore I'm going to arrest you. It has to be written in black and white. Okay, it's a violation, and you can be in jail for a couple of days for a violation. If you're speeding in down south in some different country or state, or actually county and state, you're speeding. They call it reckless operation motor vehicle, and you can go to jail and stay there for up to 12 days, or was it 14, something like that. I never got into violations. But somebody walking in my house, I'm scared. Anyway, so it has to be written in black and white, and I followed what was written in the manual. So I followed everything to the T. And here we are today. A week and a half that I've been at work, and I let you guys know the frustration that I have, and I've done private sector, I've done city, and man, let me tell you, if people think, I get lots of people question me how you apply for a city job. Yes, there are benefits. You get the union, which not everybody has a union. You have great benefits. You have pension, especially right now with the Obamacare, Trump care. It's like, fuck, man. It's like, holy shit. Like, I went to a hospital. My first hospital, they, I don't remember how much they charged, but it was like a couple $100. It wasn't big. They didn't do shit. They didn't take x-rays. They didn't take x-rays, nothing. I just went to ER. They want to give me some bullshit morphine or some painkillers. I says, hell no. Let me go back home. Went back home. Went to my family doctor. She says, hell no, go to emergency room. Went to emergency room. They took an x-ray, my forearm and my elbow, right? $6,000. They didn't give me an IV. They didn't give me painkillers. They didn't give me anything. That's it. $6,000. It's retarded. So the system is broken. And yet, if you look into foreign countries and you look into Canada, the way their benefits are, their medical spendings are, their budget, we are fucking years behind. This country is years behind. Okay, I know a country, I forget off the hand. Their initial payment is $250 for medical, $250 for dental vision, a year, and that's it. Okay, here in this country, everybody's greedy, especially lawyers and doctors. Okay, a lawyer, well, in a way, a lawyer has to win a case in order to get money, but the way the doctor will make the money, or medical field will make money, is mostly is by procedures and surgeries. I watched a documentary about our medical system, and the doctors that were in that documentary film were saying, I'm only allowed to spend 5 minutes with a patient because then our clinic is losing money, or we don't get the budget that we should every year. So now this doctor has only 5 minutes with the patient to tell him how, what, and where. Yet the doctor in the documentary movie wants to help the people, so she wants to be able to spend more time with the patients. There's some sort of emotional attachment. She's human. The patient is in need of help, and that patient is also a human. So she's just only doing her job, being a human. I mean, so I guess you become a lawyer to be a good liar, and you become a doctor to help people out. I mean, with the intention to help people out, but then you become greedy. And then he says, well, they want to operate. Boom, couple $1,000. I did a stomach procedure. I think it was like $3,000. Anesthesia guys came in and to give me some sort of IV injection to put me to sleep. I think it was like $1,200, and all he did just mix the damn cocktail, injected, and he was done. $1,200. It's a beautiful job, right? So I personally, this is my personal opinion, I don't think this country will ever have a great medical benefits because everybody's greedy. Okay. Because the doctor knows that if he doesn't do the procedure, he's not going to make the $16,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. If he doesn't do the operation, he's not going to get the $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 for that operation with his transplant. Like, they want to do a transplant of a muscle tissue for me. So they want to take muscle tissue from near my rear end, well, not my butt, but my spine. They want to take that tissue because mostly alive, with lots of blood flow and oxygen. Okay, so I want to take that. They want to inject it to my bicep head and to my shoulder. Okay, I know that's going to cost lots of money. However, I can ask worker compensation to cover that expense, but I know that I have GHI as a carrier for my medical. I know GHI will say, hell no, that's totally cosmetic. It's like getting Botox. I can't get a Botox. I had a heel spurs, right? I want to get an insert. My insurance wouldn't cover it. I had to go to the hospital, get it professionally custom fit, pay $300 out of my pocket, and that was the cheapest insert for my foot at that time, and that was about 4 years ago. I paid out of my pocket. So I went to the city. I worked for the whole, day or two or three to make the $300 clean from taxes, so I can go and give it to the doctor. I don't understand. You know what I mean? And that's what happens. Now, if you said, let's say there is 15 million people in New York City. You say every person pays $250 for the medical, and every person pays $250 for the dental. Now, that's $500 multiplied by 16 million people. Now, let's say your payment in America is going to be 500 and 500. Okay, that's $1,000 multiplied by entire population U.S., which 300 million. I'm not really. I think it's like 300 million or something. But do that. See how much money it's going to be. So now the doctor's not going to say, my salary stays the same whether I see this client for 1 hour or 2 minutes. My salary stays the same whether I operate on this person and do a transplant, heart transplant, or a tissue transplant, or anything else, or remove a cancer from a breast by removing a breast. Do you see what I'm saying? There wouldn't be that chase for the money. Nobody would be that aggressive towards collecting their money that they think they deserved. Like, you're not getting money for procedure, you're not getting money for anything, you're just getting basic salary. And it works. It works in certain countries. I'm not sure that's Canada, but Canada has great option. Even your crappy Donald Trump was saying that, well, we want to implement the system that Canada has. So what we're going to do is we're going to have immigrants coming from a different country to us already with education, and they have to prove to us that their salary is going to be high enough so they can support themselves. So there's no more sponsorship. Okay, you're responsible for you when you come to this country. Now, that's a weird dream, because my family in Europe, my cousin is a doctor. My uncle is a specialist in military. He's been in military for 35 years, and now he's an explosive specialist. There's only 4 people in Europe that can do that. I'm sorry, in my country where I live, not in Europe as a continent. So, why the fuck he's gonna come over here? For what? He's making great money already. People that struggle in their country come to this country, not to necessarily abuse it, but to live here. El Salvador, Honduras, Haiti, Africa, all these poor countries that had tornadoes, that have lots of gangsters, lots of people that want to hurt other people, where the citizens of that country don't feel safe. They want to come over here because here in America they feel safe. They can make bullshit salary. However, they can rent one room, and they can bring more people. So, example, Chinese people, they have business left and right. Why? Because they stick together and they spend and invest their money wisely. They work hard every day, all day, okay, to invest, okay? And yeah, they live in houses with 14, 15, 16 people, but they live. They can have kids, okay? Because my thing in China is where you can only have one kid or two, and then they snip your fallopian tubes. So the government's kind of crazy. Then you have Cuba. It's all communism. So that's a totally different country. Their system is totally different. Which I came from a communistic country, and my education was free. Lots of things were free. Where now here you got capitalism, and everybody got to work on its own. Government doesn't give you anything. Well, now you don't have to stay college. You don't have to pay. But city college, like colleges around here. In my city, you gotta pay, So it's like, you want to go to college. My daughter went to college. Her entire education was like $60,000, and she's still paying it off while she's working. So, but my wife was the one to be able to pay for the college, for her, help her out while she took loans. But it shouldn't be like that. your government, our mayors was like, yeah, education is number one, this and that. Totally understand. But how do you spend $80 billion on education and $800 billion on military forces? Nothing wrong with spending money to where you need it, put in the budget where you need it, but don't spend $5 on education and $5 million on military. It's just make it even in some way. But I'm done, folks. I am totally done. Okay. Now, if you lasted this long with this conversation, I just want to, have it out there, and I'm not sure how am I going to title this. I guess maybe government corruption. Yeah, that looks good. You get hurt, they say F you, but in other words, you're a crackhead, they say, oh, yeah, we love you, let me help you out. Or you have 6 kids, let me help you out. And we're not even going to talk about the city shelters. We're not going to talk about the politicians, how much they lie. We're not going to talk about Trump, how much he lies. We're not going to talk about Trump, like how much he dislikes. And he already said it himself, black people are stupid, they poor, they're ignorant. He said it pretty much about every race, and then yet his wife can't even speak fucking English. Like, shit is embarrassing with this country, embarrassing to me, because I immigrated over here in '87, and she fucking immigrated over here, God knows when, long enough to learn English. My mom was over here maybe for 10 years, and she speaks English, and not like she had money to educate herself, but yet this chick, I guess she picked prostitution or Playboy mention or modeling rather than schooling. So that's her decision, and our president is fucking married to a little slut. I mean, my daughter didn't go to a fucking place where they take pictures of her half naked. My son didn't go where they shoot porn and start banging chicks and be bang brothers. He didn't choose that. He's going to private school. I pay for that school. Should I pay for the school? No, it should be for free. I pay taxes. You telling me our government can fucking afford, can invest our taxes normally to what we need? Yeah, our deficit is fucking $1 trillion and more. So, it's horrible. It really is pathetic. This fucking country is not going nowhere, and no president is gonna make a difference. Trump is not gonna make a difference. He's gonna scare people. He's gonna scare the shit out of people. Now, I know there's a new law where people that are being prosecuted in the court system will be able to get the information from local police department to have and pick up the so-called inmates. In other words, what happens is the criminal justice system here in New York will release the inmate to be free out in the road, but the minute that inmate's being released or that prisoner is being released, ICE, Immigration Enforcement Department will come in and pick them up for violating immigration laws, which means that you have to abide by all the rules, regulations, and criminal justice. And okay, great, no problem with that. But it's funny because there were lots of people arrested for stupid shit. A father that has kids and has education and has done nothing wrong in his entire life, he got picked up because he's here illegally. And that wasn't only one case. There was 100,000 different cases. That's the whole thing. So, what the hell? How do we doing this? So it's fucking sad. It really is sad. It really is sad. All right, folks. I'm done. Man, it's not even sunny outside. You believe that, guys? Anyway, so listen up. If you got anything to say, any comments, listen. You can challenge me. If you think otherwise, tell me why you think otherwise. But I just told you, I got hurt and boom, I got cut off like a crackhead. Should it be like that? What if that happened to you? What if you got injured at work? And your employer says, F you, get the fuck out of here. Go for workers' comp. We don't even want to talk to you. Don't email us, don't text us, because that's what I was told. Don't talk to me. Why? Because the minute you challenge people with questions, they don't like that. Okay? You challenge cops with questions, they don't like that. They will either push harder, manipulate the system so they can get you in, Or they will back off and say, you know what, fuck it. Let me leave this guy. Let me leave this guy alone. This guy either knows too much, or he's just a fucking victim, or he's emotional. Either way, so you tell me. You tell me what you think. You pay taxes. You vote. You know, and you work. You make money. Whatever you do. You know. Anyway, so let me know, guys. All right. Peace out. Have fun.